hoping I'm live. This is a very strange setup because my mug is not in front of the camera. You just get to see my wrinkly hands. But hopefully you're going to be able to follow along. I just want this to be really, really quick. I want to jump on in and we are going to play around with scale and proportion to create some really original and inspired designs. And this is a really, really simple technique so that you can get the most out of your original designs. I need to make sure that my hands are staying in front of the camera, otherwise you're going to think that I've disappeared. But I hope you're with me. I'm going to just jump right into it, guys. So what I'm using today is layout paper. And I'm going to be turning this little guy into multiple designs using this technique. Now with layout paper, it's kind of like tracing paper. Yes, Kirsty, watching from the car, this is the kind of commitment I love. I will make sure that I do my best to serve you. So you should be able to see this, but just in case, I do have my light box here as well. If you are in the fashion studio, there is a top tip if you don't have a light box on how to get the best to trace through. But for visual purposes, I'm going to be using my light box today. So, try not to make it flash on and off too much, otherwise that's going to have to come with a disclaimer. So I have this really simple coat design that I've had on my inspiration wall for a while. This is in my I need to make it list along with multiple other things. And what I'm going to do is, through exploring scale and proportion, I'm going to end up turning this into multiple designs. Now this is going to be a very quick tutorial and a very quick workshop, but you are just going to see how easy this is. This is why it's going to be quick, is because you're going to be like, oh wow, is that all you do? Okay, so I'm just going to slide this design under here. Now this is a coat. We've got your classic lapel and revere. We've got an asymmetric detail, a little welt pocket up here, some layered sleeves, and I've got some D-ring fastenings. To play around with scale and proportion, you don't even need tracing paper. You can just replicate it on normal paper. You can just have fun sketching, but this is obviously going to speed up the process. So what I'm going to start to do is just scale things up, make things bigger, move things around, and we're going to end up reproducing multiple coat designs from one little original design that I thought had potential. So what I'm going to do here, I think I want to turn this collar into a shawl collar. So I'm just going to bring her down like this. I'm going to get rid of the classic lapel. I'm just going to play around with what a shawl collar looks like. Now when you're designing, you don't need to love everything that you do. In fact, it's the things that you end up loving are probably going to be the minority, because this is when we end up refining our work, whittling it down. And so I'm just going to draw these in. These are my little D-ring attachments that are asymmetrical. And I think on this design, I'm actually going to add a third one. I'm going to see what this looks like with a third one. So I'm playing around with placement, I'm playing around with proportion, and I'm just adding and taking away from the design. So if I draw down here, just making sure you can see that. Down here. And then I think I'm not going to bother. If I've got 3 D-ring attachments on the bodice, I don't think I'm going to bother with it on the sleeve, because I think that's a little bit of overkill. I'm just going to sketch that in there. So that is one design. I've also taken away the welt pocket. So we've already created another design. And then you just kind of rinse and repeat it. So I'm going to move it over here. Going to get this back on so that you guys can see that clearly. And I'm going to go ahead, and here I might make my collar just that little bit bigger. And I might stick to the 2 fastenings this time. Just sketch this in. I'll try and speed this up, guys. I've also had 2 coffees, so this is going to be very interesting. Might be a bit Quentin Blake of me in my wibbly wobbly illustration style. And this asymmetric bodice under here, I think I want to lengthen it in this one. I think I'm going to bring that down. And then I will just put this here. Maybe move the welt pocket over to this side, see if I like it over there. And then I think I might do something completely different with the sleeves. I think I'm going to bring them out. I'm going to make them extra, extra big. Play around with proportion there. Keep my D-rings. And let's have it gather in like this. And see if I like that sleeve design instead. There we go. And can you see how we're starting? They're only small changes, and that's all they really need to be. But you're going to end up producing so many variants. And you can even, to play around with the scale and proportion, let's do something drastic and let's chop her off. Let's just make this completely cropped. Bring this over here. Scale her up. I'll still give her 2. Just make her a crop jacket. And you can make the sleeves bigger, you can make them tighter fitting to the armhole, you can make them shorter, crop them, lengthen them. It really is about exhausting all options and all design pathways so that you know you have got the most potential possible out of your design. And so maybe what I want to do here is I just want to crop. And we'll have this more like a little cropped spring summer jacket. And I'll bring that under there. And then move her over. And for the final one, how about I merge these belts into one big belt. Let's see how that feels. To the eye, I'll bring this all the way down. Do a little D-ring. They never have to be your final fashion illustration. This is all about just designing with speed. As designers, we need to churn out new ideas. We need to make sure that things are still original. So this doesn't have to be your final fashion illustration. Let's make this a really, really big statement lapel. Comes all the way over here. The benefit of tracing is you can kind of make your proportions symmetrical. You can judge by eye how far out you want to take things. Let's bring this under. Let's make this a drop shoulder instead of a satin sleeve. Bring that down. Bring that down. And let's just make this one big sleeve with a bigger D-ring by here. Make this one big sleeve. And there we have it, guys. If you play around with your proportion, from one design, I have now created 5. Or, even better, 10. And this is all playing around with proportions, with different details from one garment idea. And this is why this technique is so incredibly stimulating, and it's such a good way for you to not run out of creative ideas. You start with the foundations. I picked this out. I really like the coat design. Can I make this design better? Let's see. Let's play around. I love the sleeves on this one, so I think I might end up swapping them out. And that really is how you do it, guys. It's really that simple, really that basic. This is going to be coming off the Digital Pattern Library business page, and it will be made permanently available in the Fashion Studio. So if you haven't enrolled in the 10-day design challenge, if you haven't joined us at our amazing creative community, I make sure that all of these free training videos will forever be available for those that join me over in the fashion studio. But I told you it would be quick. I told you it would be painless, simple, easy, fun, and a really great creative way to get the most out of your original ideas. So if you do try this, please tag me in anything you do. Please let me know how you find the process, and I really, really can't wait to see how you get on. So yeah, have a good day, guys. I think I need to calm down from my coffees, but can't wait to see what you do. Thank you all for tuning in. Stay safe, keep creative. See ya.